the evidence of the excellence of knowledge from the traditions of the companions of Muhammad. Ali ibn Abi Talib said to Kumail, one of his disciples, "O Kumail, knowledge is better than wealth. Knowledge guards you, while you guard wealth. And knowledge is a ruler, while wealth is something ruled. And as for wealth, dispensing decreases it, whereas knowledge increases by spending." Ali also said, "The learned is more excellent than one who fasts, who performs his religious duties, and who wages a religious war. And when a learned man dies, he makes a great breach in Islam, which only one who succeeds him closes." In verse, he said, "Glory is only for people of knowledge, for they, to those who seek guidance, are guides to the right way. Each man's value lies in that which he is well versed, whereas the ignorant are enemies of the learned. Devote yourself to knowledge, and by it you will live forever. Mankind is dead, but the people of knowledge are living." Abu al-Aswad said, "There is nothing more highly esteemed than knowledge. Kings are rulers over people, while the learned are rulers over kings." Ibn Abbas said, "Sulaiman bin Dawood was allowed to choose among knowledge, wealth, and dominion, and he chose knowledge. Then he was given wealth and dominion with it." Ibn al-Mubarak was asked, "Who are the perfect people?" And he answered, "The learned." Then they asked, "Who are the best kings?" "The ascetics," he answered. "Who are the most base?" they demanded. He said, "Those who use their religion for this present world." End quote. The only ones placed in the category of men were the learned, because the peculiar property by which a man is differentiated from the rest of animals is divine learning. For a man is a man through that quality by reason of which he is noble, i.e. knowledge. And he is not so, i.e. noble, by the strength of his body, for the camel is stronger than he, nor by his size, for the elephant is larger than he, and not by his bravery, for the lion is braver than he, and not for his eating, for in respect to his belly the ox is more capacious than he, and not because he copulates, for the sparrow is stronger in covering than he, but he was created only for the sake of divine knowledge." One of the learned said, "Would that I knew what one has missed knowledge. Would that I knew what one who has missed knowledge comprehends, and what thing escapes him who comprehends knowledge." Muhammad said, "One to whom the Quran is given, and who thinks that anyone is given something better than it, has certainly minimized what Allah magnified." Fat al-Mawa'ili said, "Does a sick person not die when food, drink, and medicine are withheld?" "Certainly," they replied. He said, "Likewise the heart. If wisdom and knowledge are withheld from it for 3 days, it dies." End quote. He certainly spoke the truth. For the nourishment of the heart is knowledge and wisdom, and by these two is its life, just as the nourishment of the body is food. Then the heart of one who loses knowledge is sick, and his death is inevitable, but he does not feel it. For his love of this world and his preoccupation in it obliterate his feelings, just as the predominance of fear sometimes absolutely nullifies the pain of a wound while it's actually taking place. For when death puts the burdens of this world away from him, he senses that he is perishing and he has very great regret. Then it does not benefit him. That is like the feelings of the one who is saved from his fear and one awakened from drunkenness in regard to the injuries which they incurred in the state of drunkenness or fear. So we take refuge with Allah from the day of removing the cover. Truly people are sleeping, and when they die, they will begin to pay attention. Al-Hasan said, on the day of resurrection, the ink of the learned will be weighed against the blood of the martyrs, and the ink of the learned will overweigh the blood of the martyrs. Ibn Mas'ud said, seek to have knowledge before it is taken away, and it is taken away by the death of those who narrate it. By the one who has my soul in his hand, men killed as martyrs in the way of Allah want him to raise them as learned, because they have seen how much respect they have. For no one is born as a learned person. Truly, knowledge only comes by learning. Ibn Abbas also said, meditating alone or with others about knowledge part of a night is more liked by me than passing the whole night of it awake in worship. In like manner, this is related on the authority of Abu Hurairah and Ahmad ibn Hanbal. Al-Hasan al-Basri said in commenting on Allah's saying, O our Lord, give us some good in this world and in the next abode. Chapter 2, verse 197. Verily in this world it is knowledge and worship, in the next abode the garden. Someone said to one of the philosophers, what things do you acquire? He replied, those things which will float with you when your boat sinks. That is knowledge. Someone said that by the sinking of the ship he meant the destruction of his body by death. Somebody said, people will take as an imam one who takes wisdom as a bit, and eyes will regard with respect one who is known by his wisdom. Ash-Shafi said, it's a part of nobility of knowledge that everyone to whom it is ascribed, even in a trifling matter, is happy, while he from whom it is withheld is sad. Umar said, O people, seek to get knowledge, for Allah has a robe which he likes, and with which he will clothe one who seeks a portion of knowledge. And if anyone sins in any way, he will grant him his good will 3 times, lest he should despoil him of that robe, even if that sin continues with him till he dies. Al-Ahnaf said, the learned are almost masters, and all majesty which is not strengthened by knowledge results in humiliation. Salim ibn Abi al-Ja'ad said, my master bought me for 300 dirhams and set me free, so I asked myself, what kind of work shall I take? Then I took knowledge as my occupation, and before a year had passed, the ruler of the city came to pay me a visit, and I did not permit him to enter. Zubayr ibn Abu Bakr said, my father wrote to see me in Iraq. Seek to get knowledge, for if you become poor, it will be wealth for you, and if you become rich, it will be beauty for you. And that was related in Luqman's advice to his son, where he said, O my son, sit in the company of learned men and crowd as closely as possible to them. For Allah revives hearts with the light of wisdom, just as he revives the earth with the heavy rains of the heavens. One of the philosophers said, when a learned man dies, the fish in the sea and the birds in the air weep for him. His face may be missed, but what he has said is not forgotten. Az-Zuhri said, the word knowledge is masculine in gender, and only strong men like it.